Okay. So I know there are. You know what? I'm gonna talk in third. No, not third person. Second person to myself because that because I recently, I recently read saw something about how kind of talking to yourself in the third person. Um, I don't know. It does something to your brain that just talking to yourself in first person, like, it doesn't do. It's something about, I don't know. I need to actually research this. I feel like the place that I learned this from, it felt reputable, but still, I'm gonna do my own research on this anyway. Until until then, I don't think there's any harm in trying. Also, chances are that if you're watching this, you are watching this because you relate to me and the things that I have to say in some way, shape, or form. So maybe me talking to myself um, in third person, in a second person, is, I don't know, helps you connect to those messages more. But it's gonna, it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna take some getting used to, I guess, because I feel like, yeah, I feel like I used to do that a lot. I used to, um, at least in journaling, like, or I don't know, journaling or poetry or something. I feel like I used to switch between first and second person a lot, and or I a lot of the time I would address my poetry to the second person, to some external mirror, basically. What, like, back then I didn't really understand it as a mirror. I just was thinking of a specific person, but in hindsight I understand that it was essentially just kind of addressing a mirror of me. um, and over time I felt as though that that kind of orientation to an external you that isn't me, because that's what it felt like. It didn't feel like I was addressing myself. It felt like I was kind of addressing some external entity. um, I I think it was necessary for me to reorient 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 that. um I don't remember exactly when that was, if it was last year or the year before that. I feel like it was maybe like 2024. I remember telling my therapist something about how I, like, I felt like at that time I was still, that was one specific person. I always felt like I was kind of like, if I'm like a planetary body, if I'm like a, then I would, I always felt like my gravity was outside of me. It felt like I was oscillating, or I was orbiting another body. Um and that, yeah, I mean, that is essentially kind of how I learned to be in relationship, or how I learned to be in the world, to orient outward. And that's how a lot of people, I mean, I don't know, whatever. I'm I'm getting off track because I don't actually. Okay, I was just gonna say I don't want to spend that much time on here, but I feel like whenever I do that, I end up just talking for ages. So I don't know if I just jinxed it. Either way, I'm just gonna, yeah, but all that being said, um, I've been really, I don't know. I kind of, I see how talking to yourself in the third person helps kind of set things in place in a way that talking to yourself in a first person, did I just say third person again? Talking to yourself in a second person puts things in place in a way that talking to yourself in the first person doesn't, because we are social beings, and we, like, there's a part of us that naturally, like, our brains are wired for kind of like group consensus in some way, or yeah, like, our brains, our systems are wired to have our thoughts and ideas and values and beliefs reflected back to us, mirrored back to us by our surroundings, our social group, because that is how we survive and sustain our existence, because we cannot survive on our own. Like, yeah, our, like, babies, if you just, like, infants, when, if you, like, there have been this, I don't know, I don't exactly know who I'm talking to, but I guess most of us have, like, some some very preliminary kind of psychology education, but there were these wildly, I mean, unethical doesn't even cut it, but experiments, I think, I don't know when that was, but yeah, sometime in the last 100 years, um, where they basically just, where they took where they took infants, and they own, like, they only provided them with food or and drink, kind of like, um, but they didn't have any um, human contact, and they died after a couple of weeks, because we die if we don't have other humans, because we need to have this mirroring, we need to have, like, this interaction and this reflecting back, and this, so that our brains can develop. We are essentially, we are social beings. We are not islands. We cannot exist without other humans, without our other beings, without love, essentially. So, all that being said, I feel like that on its own makes, to me, sense, that talking to yourself in a second person, as if you were talking to someone else, that kind of taps something different in our systems, in our brains, and that it, yeah, just whatever. So I'm gonna I'm gonna recenter to what I wanted to say. Okay, this is hard. This is really hard. Have you ever tried to do this? Okay, I'm thinking of, okay, maybe it's easier to start with, like, almost like an activity, or like, or I'm thinking of this practice that someone in my chart reading study group recently talked about, which is standing in front of the mirror and, I think it was saying stuff like, "I'm proud of you," like, saying your name and then saying, like, name, I am proud of you for, name, I forgive you for, name, I commit to you that. And I think I'm just gonna start with that activity, or with that, yeah, practice, and then I'll see from there. Okay. And yeah, okay. I'm gonna skip my name, I think, because names are weird anyway. I don't know. Uh, and and I think I am definitely not just saying this to myself, but to other people as well. So I'm proud of you for trying your best to be kind to yourself and to others. I am proud of you for continuously coming back and returning to the belief that you are doing your best, and I'm proud of you for continuing to try to show yourself that you deserve love. I forgive you for all the times you were struggling to find compassion for yourself and for others. I forgive you for making mistakes. I forgive you for thinking that there is even such a thing as making a mistake, because really, I mean, I guess there are, I don't know. I, I forgive you for not knowing. I forgive you for wanting to know everything. I forgive you for being human. I forgive you for being a walking contradiction. I forgive you for making yourself small. I forgive you for doubting. I forgive you for doubting that you mean well. I forgive you for doubting that you're doing your best. I forgive you for treating yourself the way you'd be furious to hear that your friends let other people treat them. I forgive you for needing things. I forgive you for not doing enough. I forgive you for thinking you're not doing enough. I forgive you I forgive you for wanting love so much that you forget yourself sometimes. I forgive you for forgetting that there is always love here. I forgive you for overlooking all the ways in which you are already loved, are already cared for, are already whole in the pursuit of more love and more care and more wholeness. I forgive you for wanting. I forgive you for sight. I forgive you for mistaking sight for reality. I forgive you for your limited imagination. I forgive you for being human. I forgive you for not making sense. I forgive you for being sad. I forgive you for doubting that every second of your existence and experience is important and valuable. I forgive you for only seeing the value in some things sometimes and not in others. I forgive you for needing to take time. I forgive you for the time that it takes you to understand things over and over and over again, and I forgive you for prioritizing other people's opinions over your own truth. Or I forgive you for letting other people's opinions make you doubt your own worth and your own goodness. I forgive you for limiting who you are and what you do based on your perceived opinion of other people. I forgive you for being human. I forgive you for wanting reassurance. I forgive you for wanting validation so much that you forget who you are. And I commit to you that while there are some things that you have longed for, have yearned for, have wanted for your life that are not within your control, that the things that you want for your life and that you yearn for that are more in your control, that I will follow those. That was a very convoluted way of saying that. I commit to you that I trust you. I commit to you that that I'll love myself enough to pursue my desires, my wants, and my hopes, even if they might alienate other people. I commit to you that I will try my best to not limit myself based on my fear of what other people might think of me. And I commit to you that I will show compassion for every time you do limit yourself. Because it's okay to want to be loved and seen and understood by other people. It is who you are, it is what it means to be human. What it means to be being human is to be a contradiction. Being human is to be misunderstood and in the constant pursuit of the people who see you and understand you. Being human means to be nearsighted. That's what Andrea Gibson said, right? I'm thinking of that poem, the love letter from the afterlife. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna read that. Cause I felt that right now. So Andrea Gibson passed away at the beginning of July. And I've talked about them here before. But yeah, maybe I don't actually need to say that much more right now. I just want, you know what? I'm gonna light my ancestor candles. Where do I put my phone? Where do we put this baby? Put this here. I don't know. Okay. This is okay. Love Letter from the Afterlife by Andrea Gibson. My love, I was so wrong. Dying is the opposite of leaving. When I left my body, I did not go away. That portal of light was not a portal to elsewhere, but a portal to here. I am more here than I ever was before. I am more with you than I ever could have imagined. So close you look past me when wondering where I am. It's okay. I know that to be human is to be far-sighted. But feel me now, walking the chambers of your heart, pressing my palms to the soft walls of your living. Why did no one tell us that to die is to be reincarnated in those we love while they are still alive? Ask me the altitude of heaven, and I will answer, how tall are you? In my back pocket is a love note with every word you wish you'd said. And at night, I sit ecstatic at the loom, weaving forgiveness into our worldly regrets. All day, I listen to the radio of your memories. Yes, I know every secret you thought too dark to tell me, and love you more for everything you feared might make me love you less. When you cry, I guide your tears toward the garden of kisses I once planted on your cheek, so you know they are all perennials. Forgive me for not being able to weep with you. One day you will understand. One day you will know why I read the poetry of your grief to those waiting to be born, and they are all the more excited. There is nothing I want, for now that we are so close, I open the curtain of your eyelids with my own smile every morning. I wish you could see the beauty your spirit is right now making of your pain, your deep-seated fears, playing musical chairs, laughing about how real they are not. My love, I want to sing it through the rafters of your bones. Dying is the opposite of leaving. I want to echo it through the corridor of your temples. I am more with you than I ever was before. Do you understand? It was me who beckoned the stranger who caught you in her arms when you forgot not to order for two at the coffee shop. It was me who was up all night gathering sunflowers into your chest the last day you feared you would never again wake up feeling light-hearted. I know it's hard to believe, but I promise it's the truth. I promise one day you will say it too. I can't believe I ever thought I could lose you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you for being here and sharing parts of this wild and beautiful and terrifying journey with me. I wonder what it's like to be in the spirit realm, and whether like we remember all the things and and whether there's some realm, some place, time out there in here where we're all together and where we all know what we've been wondering about our entire lives as humans, where all of the mysteries are just a big soup of here and being. Like, and I thought almost like, do we do we talk about, do we meet the souls or spirits of the people who've watched us but who we've never met? Or do we say all the things we were too scared to say? Do we even have to say them? Do we know them? Do all the answers become, or I was just gonna, do all the questions become answers? And maybe they're the same. Probably. Will all the pain just be experience? I hope so. Happy solar eclipse, my friends. Happy new moon. I've really enjoyed this Virgo season, but it's also been a ride. And yeah, I feel like the eclipses, I don't know, everything is just so paradoxical. But that's also kind of the beauty of it, right? I don't know, I'm gonna stop talking now, I think. And I'm gonna do a little bit of yoga and moving my body. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.